All right, welcome back. Today's vlog about quiet quitting. Have loads of stories about this. I support this movement mostly because I have been affected by employers taking advantage of people throughout all of my employment, actually, starting from when I was a server, where my manager would ask me to clock out because his labor needs to be at 20 some odd percent to do my side work, which is illegal. I phased into construction a little bit when I got a little bit older, and I had somebody train me, and I had to provide a truck and tools, and companies would take advantage of me, in utilizing my truck and tools. And basically when it broke down and stuff, it was just like, oh, shucks, dude. I mean, honestly, quiet quitting needs to maybe get a different name. However, the idea behind it needs more attention, because frankly, this is illegal. Your time is not free. Michael Jackson would never agree to show up to a show to do it for free. He might do it for charity, but you don't have millions of dollars. Your time is not free. You should never be put on the spot to work for free. And you certainly need to evaluate, if you decide you're going to donate some of your time, you need to evaluate what are the chances of this actually benefiting you. So like I said, I have plenty experience doing this. I was brought up by my parents. I do work hard. I mean, that's basically the way I've approached most of my jobs. I've been put on the spot a lot to work for free. Like I said at the beginning of the video, started with being a server, being out of high school. Manager would ask me to clock out and finish my side work and try to guilt me, saying, well, you didn't finish fast enough or whatever. Maybe there's a rush or something, and ask me to clock out to save his labor numbers, to save his job, because the manager was incompetent to do his job. And of course, I was expected to work for free. Illegal. Anytime you're asked to work for free, these people need to be turned over to the labor department and let them handle it. It is indeed illegal. The next thing, working overtime. Again, I really question whether it is worth it to work overtime. I know this because I've done taxes, I've done payroll, all these things. And I contend you could, do this little experiment on your own, but the best paying work week is like 38.5 hours. If you take 38 hours and divide it in your check or whatever, or divide it by the amount that you make per hour, I say that you make the most money at this time. Not the most dollars, of course, but then the flip side of that is overtime. I don't feel like overtime is worth that much, because of course you get taxed at a different amount, and these hours are taxed at a different rate, so you don't actually get as much a benefit for overtime as you feel like. You feel like, wow, I'm gonna work 10 hours overtime. It doesn't pay off like it should. So I question whether it's even worth it to do a whole lot of overtime in general. Also, it's important, that being said too, it's important to be familiar with your state laws on overtime. Is it over 8 hours? Is it over 40 hours? It changes greatly. Are you in a right to work state? These are very important things that you should be up on. Actually, I think it's the law in most states that they post these by the time clock or however you clock in. So you should be familiar with this. And again, there is a lot to be said for personal time. Like I said, I have worked too much for companies. The next thing I moved into, is construction. I got very lucky, I have to say. A friend of mine, I guess maybe not quite a friend, but a guy that I was familiar with, I'm a big strapping guy, right? Offered me a job one day in construction, said, I'd, train you. And he offered me much more than I was making at, serving tables, bussing tables, all of that. I was definitely getting sick of that. So I was very lucky to pick up these skills and make my way out of the restaurant business and into construction. However, again, much the same thing. Lots of these sneaky things, 1099 employees. Now, I mean, that's a mixed bag, right? Of course, because you're going to work and get all the money, maybe be paid piecework, maybe be paid in different situations. However, again, a lot of the benefit goes to the employer. One, they don't have to pay insurance on you. Two, they don't have to pay, workers' comp, depending on what, you're doing. Maybe they will, not have to pay these things, so you won't be covered. So, you have to bear many extra costs. And again, it's important to really look at, commute time, gasoline, wear and tear on your vehicle. So much of this is overlooked because, of course, you are, want to work, right? Commute an hour to work each way. These are costs that down the road, maybe even far down the road, are indeed going to catch up with you, and you will be on the hook for. So it is important. I contend really that many of these companies, depending on their location and how much they're paying and stuff like that, need to pay from door to door, right? Because, there was many times, I'm from Los Angeles, and you'd have to go long distances for work. Some of them would be, pay some per diem and some gasoline and stuff like that. But again, it really amounted to so little for what the payoff was. Really, the company, of course, benefited for every hour. And honestly, I watched a few videos on this because it is a very interesting subject. Companies really put you in uncomfortable situations and try to manipulate you. And you're going to lose some opportunities if you, decide that you're going to take a stand against this, and you're not going to put in the extra. It's a weird one, because is it extra effort, or is it effort that they expect you to put in for free? That is a weird one, right? Because no, you shouldn't be working extra hours. And of course, with your phone and your boss with the ability to text you, because that wasn't as much of a thing when I was working jobs. It's been a while since I've worked a job. Last job I worked was in the casino, and I like that a lot more. If you're watching this video, go get a job at a casino. Regular breaks every hour, paid for every hour, big corporation, definitely a better experience. So I enjoyed that a lot more. Always air conditioned, always nice, not too difficult of a job. Dealing cards, I worked at sports book. I learned a lot of games, and I found it to be a little more desirable. But going back to working jobs, being younger and stuff, and working in construction, it's really important that you realize that your time is worth money. And if the company you're working for isn't willing to pay for it, you should not be putting your time in for free, frankly, because if you got free time, you need to be maybe spending it with your kids, If you want to pursue something for free or work for free, go work for yourself. This is, at least you benefit from all the time that you're putting in. Whereas, again, the company is going to bill for every hour of your time. There would be no way around that. Again, another vlogger that I watched on this subject brought up an interesting point. If you were contracted to do the bathroom, you wouldn't do the grout in the kitchen and paint the garage in hopes that you would get a call back. No, you would do the work that you were contracted to do, and then you would go home. And you would also work normal hours, right? You can't go in there at 10:30 at night and work on their bathroom, right? So you would work, 8 hours during the day and go home at the end of the day. And honestly, I definitely wish I would have done more of that. Because again, I never had an employer when, I didn't make enough money. I could call up on a Saturday, go, hey, I need some money here, I can't pay this. Oh, hey, let me get you a check, maybe a conversation would go like, you need to call me on Monday when I'm in the office or whatnot. And, frankly, it amounted to very little. The last example I have for you today is Uber. Uber was, of course, one of those very popular gigs. Another very good example of this vlogger gave is you're responsible to bring a tool to the job, what amounts to maybe in this situation here, $20,000 plus, with lots of maintenance, cleaning the car, making sure the car is maintenance, because as an Uber driver, you put on lots of miles. And of course we had lots of problems with the vehicle as the, days and months went by. So, me and a friend of mine both shared a car. And, at the end of the situation, the car was damn near worthless. We had a pile of repairs. Some of it was tax deductible, but at the end of the day, Uber was just like, oh, shucks, dude. And, they benefited, and, we did an accounting of it. We filed the taxes on it. And, at the end of the day, it wasn't worth very much. Wasn't a particularly hard job. There was some days where we made some very good money, which of course, was exciting. But for what it was and what it amounted to at the end, and of course what we paid taxes on, it wasn't worth much time. And that, in itself really summarizes my employment experience. Working hourly is tough. You need all the benefits, of course, to make it worthwhile, right? Otherwise, you really wouldn't want to work. And I think that's kind of the problem that is going on right now. $10, $12 an hour isn't what it used to be. I certainly wouldn't work for it. And I think CEOs and different things that are trying to encourage people to come back to the office and stuff like that. And of course, their business model is broken where, it's just not what it used to be. It's not worth what it used to be. And people staying home realized how desirable that is. And, frankly, maybe to the point where they're content just doing something else. And it actually, kind of going back to another point, work for yourself. If you take the hours that you put in door to door, getting up every morning, making sure you're shaved and clean your hair, your clothes are clean, getting out the door, getting your kids to school, all the things that you go through to get a job, interviews, of all of this, red tape that getting a job has become. Working online, applying online, multiple interviews, all of these things. I mean, they all take time. And some of it is, brushed off as, of course, this is all what you got to go through to get a job. This is all what you got to go through to maintain a job. You got to drive to work. Everybody's got to drive to work. It amounts to many hours. I mean, if you drive an hour to work every day and an hour home, well, that's 2 hours a day. That's 10 hours. That's the equivalency of working 6 days a week. And a lot of this has been overlooked for a long time. And I think that now currently it is not being overlooked. And these companies are being put on blast. And more of this needs to come out. You need to be quiet quitting unless they are going to pay for your time. Like I said, a performer is not going to come and show up at a venue and a professional is not going to work for free. And neither should you. Your time is worth money. And if it's not, you need to go home. You need to do something else with your time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I believe it is Sunday, about 2 in the afternoon here in the Philippines. And be productive and make your own money. That's the best way to be. Be the guy at the top and, quit being the guy at the bottom. Work for yourself. There's lots of great opportunities out there. Catch you on the next video.